Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Sunless C. So we're still at Mount Palmerston, and I decided to... Well, I actually checked out these options with the privateers a little bit more, and, well, primarily to see if there would be any other event popping up, but no, that does not seem to be the case. I did also succeed in both trying to eavesdrop and attacking. Honestly, though, that was like 2 days ago, so I don't remember what the results were. Also, because this has to do with the Empire, with the not Empire, Iron Republic, right? Obviously, it's relatively interesting, so I figured I might as well include those results on camera before reloading. Because obviously the entire point of this playthrough at this point is just to document or to explore as much as there is of all the weirdness. Creep, close, and eavesdrop. Right. The Republic is privy to the gossip of hell. Creep close and you might learn impossible secrets. Fragments of meaning. They're speaking of a raid on the Khan's glory from which they stole pieces of prayer. A boast that a rival band made about stealing the Empress's wedding dress of a sort of spiced meat which fills the heart with love. But they speak too, almost coherently, of privateer lairs in the Western Wall, of passwords in use, of brass embassy protocols, and of tuning techniques for drawing lost souls close. A buzzing rises in your brain as you listen, until your eyes become unfocused and your tongue feels thick and heavy. You creep away before anything worse can happen, but this is an odd and useful miscellany of facts. However, that's still only worth 67 fragments. That's it. That's really not a whole lot. And a small amount of terror. So, yeah, really not very exciting. There's actually one other thing that I'm also going to just take care of now, because we happen to have, one of these long boxes. And, I bought it to use it to gain access to Station 3, but apparently it has a chance to give us another Clatery souvenir. And, I'm curious to see what's inside. I mean, the description is pretty... Well, I suppose it's not very ominous compared to some other things, but, it is some sort of coffin, apparently, so, what kind of strange thing are we going to find inside? On first sight, it looks like a tomb colonist coffin. On closer examination, it carries stenciling reading Sooth and Cooper and a handwritten tag, delivery to Depot A, Station 3. Okay, so it actually specifically mentions that, I suppose, in case you hadn't been to Depot 3 first and learned that you need a long box that way. So that's kind of nice that you know what to do either way. Right, but just out of curiosity, we're going to have her take a look. She has expressed an interest in experimenting with the content of a long box, of course. Will produce a Clatery souvenir. Oh, wait. I didn't even read that correctly. So that's a guaranteed souvenir. That's pretty nice, actually. For, what, 2 secrets? 2 or 3 secrets. So, not so bad, maybe. Box delivered to the surgery. She refuses to let you watch while she works on the contents of the box, but afterwards she is in a dark mood and complains in generalities. People are fools. No one dares face up to what is wrong with them. Hiding a secret from yourself does not make it go away. Pretending anger doesn't exist is not the same thing as patience. Whatever operation she's just done, she's kept a souvenir from it, but she won't show anyone what it is. She wraps it in cotton wool and keeps it in a little lacquered box left over from the sale of tea. Huh. Lost the long box, but gained a Clatery souvenir. And 20 fragments. And now we have wait. Oh. I thought it was 20% per souvenir, wasn't it? Maybe it has diminishing returns? Because we now have 3 of them. But still only 40% chance to push her about meeting her father. I mean, I could just do this, of course, with the power of reloading. And I'm tempted to. But we might just... Well, we're almost certainly going to encounter more possibilities, more opportunities, rather, to have her perform... surgery on someone, and just gain guaranteed souvenirs that way. And of course I'm going to reload because I'm not going to well, I'm not going to use my one exploration opportunity here on this on the privateers, because it's just I'm pretty sure both outcomes, even if successful, aren't really all that helpful. And I'd much rather visit the Demoness again. Plus, of course, I bought the one long box for a different purpose. Yeah, all the other things are Prisoner, Docile Blenigan, or Molliflower, which I suppose requires a submarine. Or, well, actually, no, I suppose not. It's just part of the DLC in general. Okay, anyway. Let's load. And the other... So I started with this, with the eavesdropping, because that had by far the lower chances of success. So hopefully this is going to work now. Yeah, that was, well, 39% chance versus 50, so... Okay, that was fortunate. Disorienting battle. So, they're numerous, but lost to wine and music. You will have the element of surprise, but it's very hard to know exactly what those weapons will do. Your first volley does satisfyingly grievous damage, but a half-dozen privateers snatch up weapons. One is a sort of Gatling gun. One appears to fire bubbles composed of rainbow meat. A third makes it rain in your heart. The fourth weapon explodes in a shower of fat purple sparks that chirp like canaries and chew their way through everything in the encampment. Privateers, tents, loot. The battle is over before it's begun, but by the time it's safe to approach, the sparks have devoured many of the privateers' treasures. Well, yeah, you really don't get a lot out of it. 70 echoes. I mean, I suppose if this were all I could do here, that wouldn't be so bad for one terror. I mean, whatever. Some fragment, well, one fragment in this case, that's obviously might as well not exist. 70 echoes, yeah, I mean, not particularly exciting as far as rewards go, and that leaves us with basically nothing to do but to pick up the Modiste. So, yeah, not super exciting, but the descriptions, of course, are worth it, if nothing else. Yes, we want to load, not accidentally save. I mean, there is an extra step required before you save, so it's unlikely to happen on accident, but still. Go up the crater, I suppose. Visiting the wistful Devilis. Perhaps it's time for a cup of honey fungus tea. Almost there. Look down and see Port Palmerston like a toy and the ruins like gravel. You've come far, but the volcano's cone still rears above you. Rest a little before you go the last half-mile. The road to the crater ends at a brass gate in the crater wall. Beside it stands an oddly charming little cottage. I think that's the same as before. A hesitant request. Do you happen to have a case of souls for me? A crate of human souls, huh? That makes sense for a demon, I suppose. No, I'm not going to eat them. We don't eat souls usually. I'm not clear how that story got around. I told you that I miss London. I miss hell. I'd like a keepsake. And all souls are ours, you know, by right. Concede her your soul? Oh. Because I just happen to still have mine. Yep. Because I didn't sell it for, for a couple of pennies to those crazy monkeys. Or you could just lend me yours. She bites her lip and looks up into your eyes. I'll keep it safe. Much safer than at Z. If you drown, it'll be here with me for always. Mortals do drown so. She places a slender, sallow hand on your wrist. Through your cuff, it's warm as a stone in the sun. It won't hurt at all. I mean, you know what? I'm kind of tempted to do this. I suppose I could try and acquire a crate of human souls. Those can just be bought in London, right? I keep thinking that it's somehow illegal, but there's some sort of warning somewhere about, well, illegally smuggling crates of souls, but you can just purchase them legally, I suppose. Refuse tactfully. You do not at the moment feel that the Devilis needs any more human souls. I mean, I don't know. I suppose I could keep it in mind. I would like to move things forward right now, and I don't know that I specifically need my soul for anything else. I mean, I guess it's... Well, I don't know. There might be situations where not having a soul might be detrimental. But at the very least, there are different things that you can use your soul for, but obviously you can only do that once, right? So I could sell to the monkeys for money, and then that's that. I suppose gaining a little bit of favor with them for what it's worth. Or I could use it here to gain access to the crater and to the rest of the demons that are exiled there. And presumably that's going to open up some interesting opportunities. But there might also be other things to do, right? And there might be some greater drawback to giving up my soul to no matter whom. I mean, she seems nice enough, but I don't know. I think I want to look into acquiring a crate of human souls next time I'm in London, and, you know, I guess we're gonna have to return here or to the Chapel of Lights at some point with another live specimen anyway, that I'm probably just gonna end up buying for another 500, even though, you know, it's a lot of money, but, you know, it seems like the opportunities to acquire live specimens from events are just governed by RNG or by variables that change based on things that I don't fully understand. So I don't know how to, you know, guarantee getting one of those. So I guess I'm gonna bite the bullet and buy another one. And yeah, I'll be in the area again. So I suppose that means that we could actually go for the privateers after all, because we're not going to do anything with the devils right now. Huh. Well, you know, might as well, I suppose. Maybe there's a chance to get more than 70. Unfair fight, you were unlucky. Gained 6 terror, lost 4 crew. Yeah, awesome. Surely this is gonna work out. In just one more try. Explore. Continue. Attack. Disorienting. Fortunate. 72 echoes. Hey, that's a little bit better. Still only 1 fragment. 1 terror. And nah, it's fine. I'm not gonna keep reloading. I think this is good enough. At least we got something out of this visit. And then, of course, there's the Merciless Modiste. There we go. Ah, yes, you will do nicely. I need a ship, dear heart, and I rather flatter myself that you need me. Well, we'll see about that. Welcome aboard. The Modiste neither packs lightly nor suffers fools gladly. One solitary scratch on my steamer trunks from you sniveling little homunculi, and I take the whole blessed lot of you apart at the seams. Okay, she seems like a pleasant person to have around. She turns back, her lips curling into a smile. As I was saying, Captain, you really must try to take the waters before our cruise. Try to take the waters here before our cruise? Most invigorating brimstone. Take the waters here. A point... I'm not entirely sure what that expression means. Feel free to explain. Appoint your new officer by dragging her from... Yes, I know. Well, we have her on board now, and... Okay, she's a first officer? Wait, oh, he's... Right. I keep thinking that he's an engineer of some sort. No, he's not. Iron plus 8, Veils 3, Hearts 1. Mirror 6, Pages 3. I mean, I don't really need the iron. Some Veils would be nice, because I tend to just avoid every combat and get Veils as my lowest stat. So it would make sense to increase that. But I also do like mirrors, because that's, I don't know, that is also primarily a combat stat, I suppose, so we're not really benefiting from that, especially because it's already so high. I mean, we don't need it to be that high, but I feel like that's also often used in, I don't know, trying to solve particularly weird mysteries, you know, checks that have to do with some eldritch, I don't know, beings and mind-bending stuff. But maybe that's just my imagination, and everything comes into play in all kinds of checks. So, yeah, I don't know. The pages, of course, is nice to have. Mirror 6, Veils 3. I mean, ideally I would have veils and pages or something, or veils and hearts. And I would be okay with, you know, reducing iron and mirrors. But for only three veils? I mean, actually she has veils and hearts. So I suppose I could. She doesn't seem like the nicest person to have around, though. I don't know. Letters of the name which burns, no more than 0. I suppose something else is going to happen with her questline as soon as we somehow acquire one of these, at which point this quality is no longer going to be 0. Trying this was not leading to anything, right? You must have mastered the map. Oh yeah. Entered in the house of every power, and you'll need to bring a burning truth to match the burning name. Well, okay, we'll see how that works out. Or when something will happen in that regard. I suppose there's no reason not to assign her for the time being. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I mean, 3 extra veils, 1 extra hearts. It's not gonna make a huge difference, but it might help a little bit. Who knows? And yeah. Mirrors shouldn't really matter as much. Invite her to dinner. Oh, with Zoop. And a solace fruit. Dang, there was an opportunity to buy Zoop somewhere. Somewhere I've been somewhat recently. But I've been to a lot of places recently, so I'm not entirely sure. Except that it's almost certainly not here. Never mind, it is exactly here. Well, in that case, I guess there's no reason not to, right? Well, the only reason would be that maybe it's cheaper elsewhere, but I'm not aware of that. So I guess there goes the money we took from those privateers. That's kind of fortunate then. I could... Yeah, you know what? Let's just fuel up a little bit more. There's really absolutely no reason not to for how cheap it is here. As for the solace fruit, I don't know, have I seen that? I probably have. You know what? That's the kind of thing I can just look up in the wiki. Just, you know, use that as notes, and, you know, as a replacement for taking notes about where to buy what, because that's just a lot of different ports, a lot of different shops. You know, that would be a lot of paperwork. I might as well just outsource that. So let me just quickly refresh my memory. Okay, so it looks like solace fruit is sold in... I thought I saw it in London, but I wasn't sure whether they sold it there, and apparently they don't. They buy it there, but it's sold in 2 places that I have been, which is Gatorsmorn and Port Carnelian. I suppose technically Gatorsmorn might even be on our way back, more or less. I could make a bit of a beeline for that place. The problem is those things are freaking expensive. 250, and it looks like there are maybe a couple of events where you could get some for free. Well, whether... At least, I mean, free is a relative term. At least without spending echoes, I suppose, but paying in some other way, usually. But yeah, if you just want to buy them from shops, they're 250, and that's, you know, that's a lot of money, but worth it, I suppose, to advance the storyline. What else? High-risk challenge. Challenge the Modiste to her favorite game. Knife and Candle. In London, a spirited little challenge of murder, sedition, and subterfuge. At Z, the stakes are higher. Higher than murder? The ferryman's grip is tighter here. This will let you wager a secret for a risky chance to boost your veils up to 125. Oh, right. With her, you can't just spend a secret. You have to gamble. Huh. You may also have other reasons to fight the Modiste. Yikes. Maybe we should try to get to know her before we get involved in a game that might kill one of us? I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm interested in giving this a try just to see how this even works. I mean, we always pay one secret, we're just not guaranteed to get anything out of it, I suppose. But with, you know, the chances being this bad, I can only hope that success rewards maybe more than 1 veil? Veils, rather. Interesting. Well, her dresses were the talk of London society before the scandal. Her tastes are no less refined for her exile. Well, it's definitely a pretty pricey dinner. Maybe not the most expensive we've had, I'm not entirely sure, but it's definitely up there. Anyway, yeah, that'll have to wait until I gain access to some fruit. And there was nothing else to do, right? No, I mean, I could dig among the ruins, but not going to do that. Well, we did pick her up. We did do an event here. We learned that we need some human souls, or our human soul, if we want to do anything with the devils. And we did not, unfortunately, acquire another life specimen, so yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Well, let's start a new save file and see where we go from here. Let's see, where do we go from here? I mean, there's just a little bit more to uncover here, but at this point I don't really expect to find anything. I mean, that could be a place to dock around here, although, I don't know, on these dividing lines, exactly, that seems unlikely. So we're probably done here. I mean, I ended up not finding any new places, did I? On this entire expedition. I mean, we did things, but, you know, just not the things that I was hoping to do, perhaps. I mean, if nothing else, we could basically head straight for Gators Morn and uncover, you know, at least uncover this part of the map, for what it's worth. Head straight for Gators Morn to buy that expensive fruit, have a nice, relaxing dinner with our newest crew member, and then from there, it's only a short trip to the Salt Lions. Yeah, and then we can return to London, see about maybe acquiring a crate of souls. And then our next expedition is going to... Well, I mean, if I do acquire a crate of souls, it's going to take me a while before I head back up to Mount Palmerston. Although, you know, I guess I'm going to buy the crate of souls and the specimen, the second specimen, and then I have reason to be both here and here. So, I also want to revisit Nuncio, I suppose. I kind of completely forgot about that when I was going down this way. Or going up this way, rather. Didn't I go up this way? No, I went up here from Count's Shadow. Anyway, I could have headed over to Nuncio. But I didn't for some reason. Oh well. Demo Island. Saints Haven. Where was... Well, we want to return to Port Cecil at some point. Just revisit places in general, but... was Saints Haven actually the... I keep forgetting. Journal... Pigmode Isle, that's right. Is that Pigmode Isle? And we just don't have the actual name of the island on our map because we didn't uncover that part of it. I want to say that's the case. So we definitely want to return there and see how things have been going with our furry little friends. Anyway, yeah, I suppose for now it's back to London and then yeah, pick up a couple of things there, see what else might happen. I could gamble and take the quest from the Crimson Patron. No, what was he called? Whatever. Evil Santa. And because our next expedition is, you know, yeah, despite having a couple of things to do up here, I really want to head down to Isle of Cats, Station 3, yeah, probably to Isle of Cats via Station 3, and then start exploring the unexplored part of the map, because there are supposed to be a number of different places that have been mentioned repeatedly and that we just haven't been to. I mean, the Calenate is a big one, Port Adam or whatever it's called for our the Claydray Air, and a handful of other places that, you know, we've been hearing about. Anyway, and you know, the chances of finding the place, I mean, we will eventually find the place that the guy is sending us I forget exactly which one it was. Was it the colonnade? I think it was something else. Anyway, yeah, but I generally want to explore this, you know, large unexplored part. That seems, you know, like something I should get done. That's not the right button. There we go. Anyway, yeah, I guess we just head in this general direction, and I'm gonna pause until something interesting happens. Alright, we're in Gator's Morn. Relatively uneventful. I had to evade a couple of pirates and jellyfish along the way. Not a big deal. I'm looking at my hold capacity, slightly worried because we're probably gonna have to get rid of something to have 20 empty spaces. I think that was the requirement for the shipment. So, yeah, I probably didn't... Well, I obviously didn't need to buy those 5 units of fuel, but oh well, not a huge loss if I, you know, end up having to get rid of those. Honestly, I could even sell them at a profit here? That is crazy. That is probably not a terrible idea. But yeah, solid fruit, that's what I came here for, 250. I mean, that's one more... Oh, actually, never mind. I'm gonna free up 2 spaces of cargo just by having dinner with her. Right now. Yeah, let's get that out of the way, I suppose. I mean, unless it turns out to be somehow detrimental to do this, but, I mean, how could it be? It might not be very pleasant, or, you know, we might not end up going anywhere with her questline, depending on how that goes. But it should be interesting. Nostalgia for darker days. Why, Captain, I hope I have not been forgotten. Well, you literally just joined, lady. I had a most delightful little boutique, not too far from the bazaar. Oh, forgotten. Back in London, I suppose? Not too far from the bazaar. Many surface commissions, naturally. Once one has sampled the cloths from behind mirrors, it is quite obscene to return to the mundanity of cotton and silk. Velvet, of course, is another matter entirely. Such a fabric. The modiste cuts a slice of fruit tart, licks the side of her knife. Oh, to show you my finest creations. I would dress you in raisins and arsenic, and the dream dyes of parabola. Tuh, forbidden. When my friends and I first set sail as the set, we knew no such creative cowardice. Blood and ink, my captain, blood and ink. Great art has always demanded great suffering. We simply recognized that its obligation does not necessarily have to weigh upon the artist. How pleasant. Okay, I have dined with her. Sure enough. And does that open up anything? Check in on the merciless modiste. She has wasted little time converting her cabin into a surprisingly well-equipped workshop. Inquire about her time with the set. It is a scandal she speaks of with deep fondness. And we could still do this. Right, I actually meant to try this and I didn't for some reason. Well, I'm gonna give that a try at some point. I suppose we can check in on her. I guess she hasn't made herself at home yet, officially. So this is not going to be met. Never mind. Maybe? I don't know. Underwater renegades. Of course you have heard of us, my captain. We are art's last bastion against the cowardly and the mundane. We sail irrepressible beneath the waves. We sail irrepressible beneath the waves. Free of censors and censure. The muses are our compass and guide. Right, the muses are our compass and guide. Well, when time and tides permit, of course. It has been too long since our last little salon and the unpleasantness. The modiste adjusts the bodice she is sewing, pins it in place. Ah, but the wonders we once crafted in the waxlight. The perfidious composer, every betrayal a new operetta. The ender of critics, knives blunt as their wits. The silent sculptress, so unjustly exiled when the truth emerged about her torments of clay and bone. Such fine teas she served. Then, yes, there was the pianolist, and our dear, dear poet too, but... Her finger slips a drop of blood flowering on white lace. Blast, she mutters. Not even this year's red. Okay. Huh. I mean, that was interesting, but... didn't move anything forward. Well then. I guess we'll just check in on her. The cutting edge of fashion, quite literally. A sweating crewman stands exhausted, her arms out and wrapped in flowing parabola linen. The modiste fusses over a stretch of exquisite lace, fixing it in place with a hooked pin thrust through a pinch of convenient flesh. Oh, do stop mewling. If you want something worth sobbing about, you need only ask. She glances over her shoulder, smiling warmly. Ah, Captain, do you perhaps know if the current style in London is still to the floor, or if one might finally show a knee in polite company? No, no matter. First we shall shock, then we shall inspire. Nice. She has made herself at home. Oh, okay. Oh. And now we can inquire about... Oh, okay, never mind. She's just gonna tell us a little anecdote, so long as one of these two qualities is met, not both of them. Right? Yes. Okay, fair enough. Commission a new dress uniform. Oh. This will provide a boost of pages or hearts. Okay. Maybe we can do both. 3 more bales of linen, 1 royal blue feather. I've no idea. Hunt blue profits or milliner bats to find these? Oh. Hunt, huh? Yeah. A comatose ferret. For a fur collar or something. Maybe. That's it's kind of mean, but okay. We don't really have another use for that thing. So I would do this, except that, you know, I'm not seeing myself hunting anything, especially bats. Screw bats anytime soon. But, well, I might have to if I want to advance things with her. Commission some protective armor. Oh, that sounds useful. Okay, so those are the 3 options. This one takes Strange Catch. Scintillac. 3 balls of spider silk. Okay. This one also takes linen. Stygian ivory, which was buyable somewhere. 2 caskets of sapphires. Yeah, those 2. I'm gonna assume that you can probably buy these in Port Carnelian. Ivory I've definitely also seen somewhere. Linen, of course, we've seen for sale. I mean, in Irem to trade in for fragments. Spider silk we've also seen somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Which one of these seems most doable? I mean, I do have this extra strange catch. Maybe the fine clothes? Boost to heart seems nice. I mean, in terms of what I need the most, yeah, probably not the armor, although that does seem kind of nice. But I really still don't see myself ever doing a lot of combat. I'm just not very comfortable with how that works in this game. Of course, there might be some things that can only be done that way. I mean, there are definitely things. Would be very much surprised if, you know, if that weren't the case. But, I mean, so far we've been able to do a lot. Just, you know, sailing around, talking to people. I mean, pages is always nice. Yeah, but I'm not sure about this feather. Also, I would feel a little bit bad about the ferret, but, I mean, honestly, not that bad. The linen, though... Yeah. I mean, I could look up where else to get that stuff. I'm really not sure if I've seen Scintillac for sale somewhere, or... Well, since I already started looking this kind of stuff up, I guess I'll just do that same thing again and see if maybe this seems convenient, or, well, maybe even, well, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen Royal Blue Feather, so I'm not gonna look those up. Also, the tooltip does suggest that these are acquired by hunting, so, you know, there is that. Anyway. Well, it looks like bolts of spider silk can actually be purchased in London, although they're pretty expensive at 100 echoes a piece. But other shops, the other shops listed, I think I haven't even been to. Not entirely sure. I didn't, you know, look into too many more details because it seemed like it could be spoilery. Scintillac apparently isn't really sold openly anywhere, or either way, it looks like you can just collect it at Port Cecil, which makes sense. That's just where that stuff is from. So yeah, since I'm planning to go there anyway, and maybe they do sell it there, or you can acquire it there. We only need 1 unit anyway, so yeah, I guess this is probably our best bet. I guess I'll just go ahead and probably buy them at London too. I mean, might as well, right? I've kind of given up any immediate plans of acquiring a more expensive ship at this point, so I might as well use the resources I have. And, you know, just use them to advance quests to see more interesting stuff. And if I, you know, end up too short on cash to really finish doing anything, finish any of the quest lines, so be it. Whatever. I'm not really all too worried about that. Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll keep that in mind. What can we do? What else can we do here? Stalagmite, right? Vast as a crag. Its foot has no safe harbors. Right. Evening at the Errant Limpet. Chancy challenge. Which costs me 50. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind an opportunity to reduce my terror a little bit before returning to London. Although, yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't, obviously. Terror will be reset to 50 when I return to London, so... But if it's lower than that, I guess all the better. Ideally, though, it wouldn't cost me money, but, well... Introduce Blamigans to the Morn. Was this an option last time? I want to say that I've seen this option pop up somewhere else. Maybe this was one of the places, though. There might have been a couple. Overhear rumors. You have heard of the pirate poet. Oh? Landlubbers fear pirates. Pirates fear the poet. Okay. Gather intelligence for a port report. Was that a thing last time? And presumably? Explore the Morn. I faintly remember being ambushed while exploring, and maybe even failing, and getting hurt in some way in the process. Well, either way, I think I'm going to... I don't remember if I saved yet. I think I saved when I arrived, but, you know. We have had dinner with the lady now, so there's that. Explore the Morn or risk an evening at the Errant Limpet? I want to see how much terror this reduces. Failed. Well, still lost 1 terror, though. An ugly conclusion. You never learn who said what, but someone ends up pushed out of a window. It's a long trip. It's a long drop out there. The Errant Limpet trembles dangerously as the brawl gathers momentum. Oh, we're not done. Yikes. Fights on the Morn have a staccato quality. A careless lunge will send you plummeting to your doom. So wait and choose your moment carefully. Fight, you're good at that. I mean, surprisingly so. 1% success chance per iron, apparently. Or flee. I'm not that good at that, unfortunately. Well, I mean, these are the better odds, so there we go. Gain 26 echoes. So we lost 1 terror and ultimately lost 24 echoes so far. Blood on the stone. You smash a wiry villain to the ground, trip over an incoming blade, leap to a neighboring perch, and send its occupant down the long way to the waters below. Your shipmates dispatch another 2 with well-flung rocks. The others flee, leaving 1 corpse for you to loot. Well, it's the law of the Z. Oh, that's nice. Another afternoon at the Errant Limpet. Really? Wait. Can you just do that? Ill-gotten gain. Collect ill-gotten gains. Pirate's pleasure. We can still gather intelligence. And we can still overhear rumors of a pirate poet. She hunts far from London, picking off both pirates and travelers who sail too far. I don't remember what triggered this, but apparently something did. So this certainly wasn't an option last time. I'm not sure if I'm if I'm happy with this this outcome, though. I mean, we basically paid 24 echoes for 1 point of terror reduction, which is not good. Gather intelligence. Succeeded, though. A steaming bathhouse on a spur of rock. Water slopes over the edge of tubs, but over the edge to... Out over the edge to join the Z far below. Scarred captains boast drunkenly of the prizes they've taken and the victims they've marked out. You listen from the shadows. Right. Pretty sure we tried this once and actually failed and still got the port report, but probably also at the cost of something. I don't know. Or maybe you don't get your port report. It's been a while. Drinking den by the dock cradles is a good place for your crew to find companionship and let off steam. So can I actually do this again? No, you just... Yeah. Conversation quietens as the drinkers look round. You've been here too long and you're attracting the wrong kind of attention, and that actually gave me the point of terror back right away. Yeah, okay. What a great place to be. It's just, I feel like this is one of the most hostile places just because everything you can do here is just either has a chance to go badly for you or just always goes badly for you. Even though it's, you know, a relatively normal place to be as far as the Neath is concerned. You know, there are far more alien places down here. This is just a pirate's den, you know, a pirate harbor, but still. Yeah, not very nice. Anyway, let's try that again, shall we? Okay, I don't even know exactly where I stopped, but so what I did, I reloaded, I got the port report, just made sure that succeeded, and then oh yeah, right, I also checked out what success at the pub does for you, and it's, well, in my case it was 5 points of terror reduction for 50 and no other benefits or losses. So I guess that's not technically that bad, 10 echoes for 1 point of reduction, but on the other hand, you know, 5 points also isn't that amazing, especially since we're not in any immediate danger quite yet. So I decided to take a look at the Explore the Morn option, and that's the one actually that gives you a choice of taking part in various riddle contests. Although I didn't remember that being here. I thought that was in another place. Maybe it's a random event that can happen in a number of different places. I want to say it happened at Mutton Island, was it? Much closer to London. But either way, there's a choice to bet. I think 1, 10, 100, or 1,000 echoes on increasingly more difficult riddles. And just for fun, I tried the one for 1,000, you know, and kept trying until I actually succeeded. And yeah, this is the one. Attempt one of the great riddles of Irem. Who is this in lion-colored furs at the firelight's edge? I carry one of the great riddles of Irem, she intones. Her eyes glisten. 1,000 echoes against a jewel from the pillared sea. And yeah, when you succeed randomly, I think it's a 13% chance. This happens. Home. Ah, the stranger, the Iremi, breathes. Yes, the key fits the lock. Take this. Jewel? It's a silver hand, beautifully shaped to every crease of skin. The rest is lost, the riddle wielder says. Now you have this. Now you have this, it's lost too. Huh. That gives us a captivating treasure, which we can sell for exactly 1,000 somewhere, or could maybe sell for more elsewhere. I think we got exactly 1,000 for it from the Scholar in London as well. So technically I could keep this. But, I mean, it's basically, well, yeah, I don't know. Unless there is a chance to sell it for a little bit more than that, or to use it as a sort of bargaining chip in some other interaction, this is not really worth it, especially considering how extremely unlikely this was to happen. It took me, I don't even know, way more than 10 attempts. I was really about to give up on this one. Except, of course, because of sunk cost fallacy, I did not and wasn't going to. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to explore that, but, you know, don't think it's worth it, especially since we already have 2 treasures and nothing in particular that we need them for. So I think I'd rather hold on to my cash. But, I don't know, maybe explore some of the other options. Explore the Morn. Right. Bed 1, Echo on a 54% chance of success. And obviously we're not going to get anything out of this, anything really worthwhile. But we're also not really losing anything. Seek a real challenge for 10 Echoes. Here's a sardonic woman with a pair of matched knives, a silver hoop earring, and a carnate accent. She has a real riddle. Or attempt one of the riddles of Pearl. At the Fathom King's feasts, the guests challenge one another to answer these riddles. You need not pay the penalty they do, but you will need to stump up 100 Echoes to challenge the Drowny. That's still only an 18% chance, yeah. I mean, we got something of basically equal value out of the Great Riddle, which is, you know, honestly a little bit disappointing. I suppose it's a way to acquire a captivating treasure. One of probably only a limited number of different ways, but it's also, you know, so unlikely that in a merciless game you would never actually even attempt this. Right? Risk losing 1,000 Echoes. Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. But, I mean, at this point... okay, here at least you gain some fragments out of it, even if you fail. For the most difficult one, you don't get anything at all. But, it's a shame that apparently we see our captain's attempt at the solution to the riddle, but we don't actually see the riddle itself, which is, you know, a little bit lame. But oh well. Anyway, I suppose at this point I might as well keep exploring these options and see what the different outcomes are, and if any of them seem worth it at all. Well, well, well. This thankfully didn't take nearly as long. So apparently the correct solution to whatever the riddle might be is a silver bubble of breath. The Drowny performs a curious bobbing bow, and produces something from its sodden clothing, a serpentine bundle bound with seaweed, wriggling slightly. It rolls lugubrious eyes towards you. A souvenir from the Z's bed, the Drowny says. Keep it damp. And yeah, I already scrolled down, so I knew. I mean, that's fortunate, and I'm more than happy to pay 100. Actually, did I even pay 100? Oh no, never mind. Of course not. If you win, you keep your. Oh, wait, did I? Oh, I'm dumb, aren't I? Of course. So in that other interaction, you actually don't pay 1,000 at all. You just gain the captivating treasure. So that's of course a huge gain. I don't know why my brain was just a little bit fried after all those failed attempts where obviously it always said, you know, lost 1,000 Echoes. I wasn't even, wasn't even looking at my Echoes balance anymore. But I mean, even better. So yeah, obviously that is kind of worth it. But then again, in a normal game where you don't reload, it's obviously way too risky. 100 though, you know, especially at this point in the game, aren't a huge deal, and a live specimen for 100 instead of 500? Yes, please, especially since we specifically needed one. So I'm not even going to check out the other options. I mean, pretty sure I've done and possibly even succeeded at the lowest tier riddle, and probably got just a few fragments out of it or something. Couldn't really have been anything much more valuable than that. Not sure what the 10 Echo challenge would give you. Maybe just some trade goods. You know, some normal trade goods. But yeah, this is obviously a very nice surprise for a change. I will take it. drinking then? Yeah, okay, so since we don't actually have time for, you know, a real event, for a real port story, I guess this trying to spend a night here, or spend an evening, will always, I guess, causes, what was it, 1 point of terror, maybe up to a couple of points of terror, and nothing else, so yeah, no thanks. But I guess we can overhear the rumors of a pirate poet now, so let's do that. Lies, nonsense, glimmers. Some say she's a clayman, or woman, I suppose, who freed herself with the power of verse. Possible. Others insist she's the personal muse of the king with the 100 hearts. Unlikely. Actually, this does seem familiar, now that I actually look at it. One claims she sails on a living ship made of the still screaming skulls of her victims. More sober voices mutter that no, it's just an Alceus-class vessel. Whatever the truths, few have fought her and survived to tell the tale. Only the bravest of captains risk the lonely parts of the sea where her flag is said to fly. Oh. Well, I was somehow expecting this to be more important and interesting. But no, we must have seen this before, obviously. Not sure where we heard of the pirate poet. Maybe when we first visited the Iron Limpet, or who knows. Okay, either way, this was in the end rather successful. We did make some progress with our pleasant fashion designer officer, and we completely surprisingly acquired our second live specimen. That's awesome. We have, well, we need 5 more open cargo spaces actually, so I suppose I'm going to just sell a little bit. Yeah, I mean, well, like so. I mean, we should have way more than enough supplies for sure. Those are used up much more slowly than fuel is. Especially now that we only have 7 crew members, I suppose. So that definitely helped in that regard. But yeah, now we have more than enough space. I don't know why I sold more than I needed to. I guess because it doesn't matter that's close to London. And yeah, next time we're gonna head down, or rather, I suppose, for next episode, I will have moved down to the salt lines, which are not far from here at all. And then we're gonna see what transporting that Sphinx stone is all about. If it's just for some echoes and for how many. And we will, yeah, then head over to London, see what awaits us there. If we have maybe yet another officer to pick up, or if we'll have to face some consequences for earlier actions, and, you know, that kind of thing. Collect whatever we can for our port reports. Only a handful this time. And yeah, I guess, okay, what did I want to do? I suppose I no longer have to actually buy a live specimen, which is awesome. We will look into acquiring a cask of human souls, was it? Or a box of human souls or whatever. Crate of human souls, that's the one. We're looking for a red honey, although, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can only smuggle that to London, but only acquire it at Isle of Cats, which is one of my next locations to visit. So, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's mainly the human souls, and, you know, supplying and everything. And then, depending on how that goes, how that London visit goes, we might depart for our next journey to generally the southern half of the map, you know, to revisit a couple of places we have been, and also, well, maybe not necessarily as part of the same expedition. Maybe I'll just revisit a couple of places, Isle of Cats, Port Carnelian, Station 3, Pigmote Isle, just to name a few. Well, those are probably the main places I want to return to. Let's see here, there. Oh, Visage, perhaps? See if there's anything more to do there. Might not be a bad idea. Oh, Port Cecil, if I hadn't mentioned that. But yes, we have we have a quest to complete there, to turn in, basically. And yeah, depending on what our supply situation is, then maybe we might want to return to London yet again, or continue from there and explore at least a little bit more. I suppose we can start going maybe all the way east and then return that way or something like that. But, you know, why do I even make plans like that? It's not gonna, you know, go according to those plans anyway. But, yeah, that's the general idea, at least. Mostly just as a bit of a mental note for myself here, as usual. For the time being, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.